Welcome to EU Tweets of the Week. This week, Davos leaders drink wine and whine, Qualcomm hit with massive fine, and Romanian rule of law in serious decline. The big news at the World Economic Forum in Davos was the snow, leading to lots of speculation about who would and wouldn't make it. Euractiv's own Jorge Valero revealed that Juncker had to cancel his trip due to a flu. It would have been his first appearance in Davos in almost 20 years. But the biggest name on the bill was definitely not welcome, as protests against Trump took place in Zurich. Jesselyn Cook reported that it wasn't just the man and woman on the street. World leaders were also taking some not-so-subtle swipes at Donald Trump. Meanwhile, somewhat ironically, Justin Trudeau told Davos to tackle inequality or risk failure. As Javier Blas from Bloomberg pointed out, only in Davos would you get a sign with private car pickup alongside the Day in the Life of a Refugee exhibition. Inequality? Those in Davos just want to rub it in, according to some cartoonists. Of course, Davos isn't the only place where there's inequality. Jack Parrock showed this installation at Brussels' Schumann station. Note the direction of the escalators for migrants or expats leading up to the Berlaymont. But if you want to come up with your own Davos message, an account called Davos de Ville shared this handy chart. So I will be innovating global efficiency. Yep, that sounds about right. Back in Brussels, the Commission slapped Qualcomm with a €997 million fine for illegally shutting out rivals in the chipset market. Don't, tweeted EU competition chief Margaret Vestager. Rasmus Kleis-Nielsen described Vestager as the world's most aggressive technology regulator. Qualcomm was found to have paid Apple to guarantee chip exclusivity. Spoof account Martini Seltzemeyer was also very interested in the news. No, not that sort of chip. Dave Mayer pointed out that Intel, once an EU antitrust villain, was the victim this time. And consumer advocate Isabel Busk says the next step is to get consumers compensated for paying over the odds. Qualcomm says it will appeal the decision. Finally, as Roxana Adam reported, Romanians were out on the street, again, to protest against, surprise, the corrupt government. An estimated 20,000 gathered in Bucharest last Saturday. Others reported figures of 50,000 and even as high as 70,000 people on the streets. MEP Siegfried Mursan said people were shouting about two things. One, defending the rule of law and criticising any attempt to weaken it, and two, against the governing socialists. There is a huge discrepancy between people and politicians, he added. And the European Commission issued a stern rebuke of Romania's judicial reforms, warning it will thoroughly review the controversial amendments. But the most bizarre banner of the whole affair was highlighted by Craig Turp-Balazs, calling for Charles, Prince of Wales, to be made King of Romania. Huh? This week, we are supported by Coca-Cola. Check out their World Without Waste campaign. By 2030, for every bottle or can they sell, they aim to take one back. And join me again next week for more buzz, blunders and backtalk in the Brussels bubble Twitter sphere. And send in your suggestions using the hashtag EUTweets.